on those seasons when we went, oh, my God, we made it to 500? Were we willing to accept that? Because at least we could look west and southeast and go, well, we're not them.
Yeah.
And we've got a great stadium, and we can play, hang out with our friends, and we can go to County Stadium and watch a game. Is that what happened?
Mm-hmm.
I've wondered. But, no, they became a footnote. They became a coda. But there are, however, and this is, of course, very, very brief, because I do want to only comment briefly on this stuff. But as I watched the film of a certain game last week, as we talked about this, and I appreciated your close film study, because I think it did point out some important deficiencies.
Your eyes didn't glaze over. It was. Were you engaged?
No. I admit I don't know, as somebody who doesn't know the NFL the way you do and the way I care about it, is going to go, what the devil is he talking about?
But you did. I'm not worried about it. I'm worried about the Packerverse and most especially.
The Packerverse is golden. The Packerverse is sitting here drawing we're making marks on a napkin and going, oh, he shot right. Okay, gotcha. I did a lot of film. Obviously, my assignment remains Sam Shields. I've done a lot of film on Sam. But, and this was something that was triggered by a conversation I heard with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And this is...
Oh, about Urlacher and dropping deep?
Exactly. And this is...
Well, go ahead. Explain that for the rest of the Packerverse. Yeah.
This is the decline of Brian Urlacher. And this is not disrespect, because he has played that game at the highest level. I imagine he's on his way to Canton. I'd be surprised if he's not. But it is just a reminder that this game is brutally unforgiving, even to its very best. The whole principle of Tampa 2, if you understand it, is that you're just running...
Oh, speaking of expansion teams, Tampa 2, they get a whole defense named after them?
Well, they did once they got Tony Dungy.
I know, yeah. And also, the Seahawks have been a much more glorious franchise in the last decade. And so I don't think we should underestimate them, even though they haven't looked great in the last few years. Marshawn Lynch and Marshall Wilson are not two players to sneeze at. In their defense, they have Pro Bowl safeties. They have young, fast guys in the front seven. This is not a team to take lightly, no matter what, because of the 12th man when you go to Seattle.
I was going to say, you don't when you run an offense the way Aaron Rodgers runs it.
Yeah.
You don't go into that stadium and not take them seriously, because the minute you don't, that's when they beat you.
Well, that's just general principle now. I mean, I think we can go into Kansas City and not take them, even though we're not going there this year. But last year they beat us. But I guess I'm proving my own. I'm proving my own point. So never mind. I should have not said anything. Go ahead. I'm proving your point. I'm proving against my own point. Yeah.
And I said Arrowhead's the danger. I'm afraid of Arrowhead too. Any place where the fan base. Have you ever been to Kansas City during the season?
No, I have not been to Kansas City in decades. I really should make a trip.
It is the only town. Yeah. I'm serious about this. Yeah. It's the only town, and I have been to all but 3 NFL cities during the season. And I'm here to tell you that other than Green Bay, which is an anomaly, and I want to make a comment about that in just a second. Yeah. It's the only other city other than Green Bay that I've experienced that is ridiculously as behind their team as Kansas City is, win or lose.
So you're counting Buffalo? Buffalo doesn't even make that list? It's Green
Buffalo
Bay.
Does not. Buffalo. I've been to Buffalo. They're great fans, but it's not even Pittsburgh. It's not even Pittsburgh. That town is ridiculous for the Chiefs.
Wow.
And I salute them. And when you
so that was a bad example. I should have said St. Louis Rams, right? Because they don't.
There you go. That I might have bought.
Because
that's a group of people that I'm convinced could be in a playoff hunt and they'd still have a half-full stadium. But Arrowhead scares me. Just because you've got to take it seriously, you've got to play. And when you play a game that is as built on adjustments as the scheme that McCarthy and Rodgers have, you have to be ready to make them. Otherwise, you're going to be surprised. Now, obviously, nothing is going to surprise Aaron Rodgers at this point. He's not a new kid.
Well, nothing other than Navarro Bowman dropping back or James Jones running the wrong route. He has thrown 2 interceptions in 2 games.
Right. But again, as you just correctly commented, those aren't on Rodgers.
Well, wait. The first one is Navarro Bowman. He needs to know where.
The Navarro Bowman one, yes. I'm talking about the James Jones.
Right.
So James Jones, to his great credit, came out and said, "Yeah, that was on me."
Right.
But no, just to loop this all around though. When you talk about Seattle, you're talking about a corporate, shallow-rooted football town. They love their team. They enjoy their team. I get all that. But the fact of the matter is,
they're a little more European and soccer loving than and I'm a soccer lover myself, although I'm not European. But they really get behind. Them in Portland, they have this rivalry now in Major League Soccer that just seems to consume them. MLS, yeah, they're consumed by this rivalry. The Portland Timbers and the Seattle Sounders, and the Seattle Sounders play in the stadium we will be visiting on Monday night, which is known. How many people, raise your hand if you know the name of the third largest telecommunications company in the United States?
Qualcomm.
No, CenturyLink.
CenturyLink.
That's where we're going, to CenturyLink Field, formerly known as Q West, until Q West was acquired by CenturyLink. Right. Just and saying this stuff and giving this corporate history of the Seattle trademarks just makes you, football being socialism here in the Great Lakes watershed, it's such a relief that we don't have to worry about which company acquired which other company. We have a field called Lambeau Field because Curly Lambeau founded our football team. End of story.
Right. And so, no, I absolutely, looking back, and there's been a lot of discussion over the past week about, which Packer team is it? The team of week 1, the team of week 2. I said it's the same bunch of guys. But I will say this, and when we first got together, I told us we must appease the Manitou of earth, not sky.
Uh-huh.
But the fact of the matter is, Cedric Benson played a better game against the Bears, and it made a difference.
Did he really play a better game, or are their middle linebackers just not the beasts that Bowman and Willis are? Because I'm not. Because part of me thinks that San Francisco's defense is just that good, and the Bears' defense is pretty good.
Watch Cedric Benson run against the 49ers.
Yeah.
And count how many times. Now, I didn't watch every snap. I don't. I won't say
that. We don't expect every snap. The Packerverse is not that strict.
I counted 3 snaps where Cedric Benson was right behind his blocker, almost saying, "Would you please get out of my way?"
Well, so it's not Cedric Benson so much. It's because their defensive line and linebackers are so fierce at fighting off the blocks that there just were no holes for him, right? Or what? We run
a zone blocking scheme.
Yeah.
That tells me he doesn't know where he was supposed to be.
Oh, so you think that Cedric was? You think it wasn't that the 49ers are that good? It's that Cedric was having.
Oh no, and I don't mean to. I do.
Or you're saying it's a bit of both. You're saying that Cedric hadn't yet figured out the scheme. There's a bit of both.
I'm saying it would have given us fits under almost any circumstance.
That's a very interesting observation. I hope the Packerverse are listening to Jim from the South Side and go back and watch some of these clips from the San Francisco game. So you're saying
please.
Yeah.
Please take a look.
Okay.
Before I make way for the
you're breaking up a little, so come back into the light and yeah, or the brainwave.
Am I good now?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Okay. Before I make way for the cavalcade of stars that I know is going to join you here, I do want to raise just 2 other points.
Please do.
First of all, we made the point. You try to come up with another word from now on, anytime, and I just got a hunch we're going to see the 49ers again. When we see Randy Moss again, we're going to call him Tundra Belly.
Tundra Belly.
You acknowledged to me.
You don't like Old Rooster?
I do like Old Rooster. I love where you're going with that.
Old Rooster with too many hands.
I have never. It is shocking to me now that after 2 separate games, not merely against the Packers, but in their game list last week, he did the exact same thing. Caught the ball and flopped.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I texted you when it happened because that was a Monday night game, right? Or Sunday night.
It sure was.
Or was one? It was Sunday night game. Yeah. So.
Yep. And I
texted you something we can't say on the Packerverse, but it included the euphemism and the thing that the euphemism is for together.
Exactly. So we were trying to work up a euphemism. I'm going with Randy Tundra Belly.
Tundra, the frozen. Is it frozen Tundra Belly or that's redundant?
No, it's wherever he hits. Because as correctly observed, frozen tundra is redundant. Mm-hmm. But so again, Randy Moss, watch this the rest of the season, and most importantly, and this I am going to burn one of my clicks, watch and see if anybody in the national media calls him on it.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of your clicks, I know it's a different reference, but you had that nearly triple-digit bad tackle
and
clicker?
That is my second point.
I'm anticipating you. Go ahead.
Nice job. No, ladies and gentlemen, this was not pre-planned. We don't know each other. There's this famous clip, and we can bring this all the way around, of he that is the prophet of God, that is football.
Yeah.
there's this famous clip of Vince Lombardi saying, "What the hell's going on out there?"
Yeah.
And what nobody listens to is what he's talking about.
Is tackling?
Yes. He keeps going, grab, grab, grab. Yeah, just keep going ahead and grab. Don't tackle, don't bother, don't care.
So he's being sarcastic.
Of course.
Yeah.
And he's riding his guys as they're coming off the field. He's going, what are you doing? It is shocking to me that was still out there. And as I watched the San Francisco game, and as I watched the San Francisco the Giants, there I go, the 49ers play on Sunday night, it again struck me how good they